Hello and welcome to the Beth of Fresh Air. It's January 16, 2026, and we are still here. Who didn't think you were going to be here at this point, or this wouldn't be here, or whatever? It's doomsday every day, and hopefully you're getting used to not buying into that. Welcome, Miss Maya. Welcome, Elisa. So great to have you guys here. Do come say hello in the chat. And today is a very special episode of Beth of Fresh Air. I will be hosting my son. It looks like he's going to come along at some point. He had to work. I was looking out the window last night and it was snowing, not really intensely, but pretty persistently, and it did for hours. And that's part of his job is snow removal. So I had a feeling that he might end up working today, but he's going to do double duty and come by for the stream. So that's pretty exciting for a mama, I have to tell you. I would never have pressured him. I would never have, made him do it or asked him to do it. But, well, I did ask him. I just put it out there without any big expectations around it. And he immediately said yes. So how beautiful is that? He has done 2 podcasts with me in the House of Free Will, where we talked about a lot of things through his eyes. And today we're going to zero in specifically on the beginning of this brand new series I'm calling Evolve, and specifically on how society and culture have evolved, are evolving. Could I pick a bigger subject? That's why this is going to turn into a series and expand out. I'm going to milk it. I have some other guests in mind. Hello, Mr. Magnu. Nice to see you. Glad to have you here. Mr. Matt Arrett, I don't know if you're familiar with him. I believe he's in Ontario, or at least I met him through Julian Camastra, who was a great biological dentist, hosted him in his space for a really cool talk. And his focus is more geopolitical history and evolution. And of course, he's things like we do, so to speak. So that will be good. We haven't nailed down a date yet, but I'm hoping for that. David Goslin, I also recently got introduced to. He's another very young, smart thinker on that geopolitical side of things. And Dagmar Stansova is going to join us for another Beth of Fresh Air episode to talk about the evolution of the performing arts. The arts itself is such a big subject, but that's her jam. That's what she's seen and paid a lot of attention to over the course of her career, which is in the performing arts. So that's what I have lined up so far. I'm open to suggestions. There's no end to it. I was thinking to do a financial version of it through the eyes of Brennan Sterling, and instead we're opting for an interview on Tuesday coming up, a King Hero interview, where he's going to talk about some recent events like the Venezuela stuff and, the appearance. There's always going to be how they want you to see things in the media. And then there's the actual data. I like Brandon because he brings data and he just shows facts. Kind of love facts. I love them more and more as I go along. So that's going to be really nice on Tuesday, I believe at 4 p.m. Central Time. That's just after our House of Free Will meeting for any members that are around right now. You can always apply to become a member of the House of Free Will. Things are growing, I know, and evolving. I know from experience now that anything that you create at the beginning, you think, oh, this is the big splash. It's coming out and it's going to be great, but it nonetheless is going to need to grow. And that's just a fact of it. If I took my so-called success with the House of Free Will into account in the first year and the second year only, I might have gone, this isn't worth my time. I'm putting in so much and not necessarily getting anything out. But I knew this was going to be an investment for the long term. It's a labor of love, I have to tell you. And hello, Quietly Content Bear. Very nice to see you here in the chat. And as usual, I'm going to be asking the chat to be part of the conversation and to chime in. I only see through my eyes. That's one of the reasons I love to interview people, why I'm having Liam on today, who is my 19-year-old. I can't believe I have a 19-year-old. I'm so glad I had a child. Boy, I don't know what I would have not known knowing or not, yeah, I don't know how I would be now. I did in my days when in the day when I birthed him, and I was holding that baby for the first time, and just like it was extremely profound. What I saw in my vision at that time, I saw these two roads doing this. And here I was on this road, and this road was going some other direction, giving a little credence to what might be parallel lives. But I knew that that was not my road anymore, that this was my road, and there was a distinct split in it. So God bless that I can't call him kid, young man. I guess I'll go for it. Jackie K is here, and Chris Unhurted, welcome. Great to have you guys here. So yes, a very big subject, and then anything that you start. Hello, Earthship Bear. I haven't seen you for a while. Your baby's 30. Amazing, Chris. Yeah, yeah. It's a stunning thing to witness close up the evolution of a being inside themselves and in this world. So really good. What do I keep trying to start saying about? Was it the House of Free Will? Yeah, just the beginnings of anything. One of the smartest things I ever heard from a speaker on a stage who had built out a kind of multi-million dollar, very successful business. Can I even remember what the business was about? I couldn't, but his talk was profound. And he said this line, and I'll repeat it. I have repeated it many times. And your baby has babies. I can't wait for that, Chris, myself. And he said that you can be an overnight success in 25 years. Right? That means that there's really no overnight successes. And if there is, we already know that it's highly suspect. How could it just become, uh, multi figure kind of earner, or have great notoriety, or a lot of public acceptance and use, or whatever it is that you're building out? It is literally a brick by brick warrior exercise, and there's no replacing that. I mean, there are hacks, there's manifestation, there's all this kind of thing. There's siding with people who can help you grow at a cost to your integrity and your soul and your ability to discern the truth. So this has been a temptation for me, where I want to side, and I want to be part of that. I do want my work to grow. I have no idea the scale. I don't have, like, I don't want to be so big. I just want people to be able to take part in their own inner life in a way that they feel like they're driving rather than being driven. That's my main thing. So yes, I want my work to get out, but I'm not able this time, or I don't know for how long it's been like this, but I for sure feel it in this lifetime, that I cannot diverge away from new information when it comes my way, when I see the truth of things. So, for example, in the natural health world, there's a lot of people who don't want to talk to me anymore in that world. Why? Because I've discovered greater truths, and I've gone in a distinct direction. You guys have heard a lot about that in Toxic Bile Paradigm. By the way, the third episode of Toxic Bile Paradigm that I contributed to, or not contributed to, but I interviewed Garrett on the subject. It's now out on his channel, so you can see all three. If you know people who are new to Toxic Bile Paradigm and you want to share it with them, that's a really good place to start. Episode 1, 2, and 3. I think is it 231, 232, and 233? Something right in around that range. And so I would rather pay the price for the sake of the truth, because it's not a game, this thing, right? It can seem like that. But as soon as there's, say, in the example of the health world, as soon as there's issues and things that you need to solve that haven't been solved, and you've tried a lot of different things, it's going to move you towards finding greater truth. And so I can't imagine doing it any other way. The same thing happened to me in the law. I could have a lot more friends right now in the law if I could have kept going along with the grifters and the controlled opposition and the people who fill in the mystery blanks by making shit up and inventing stuff, I just couldn't go there when I started seeing and peeling back the layers and going, oh, not a lot of good stuff here. So that's what we're doing in the House of Free Will, by the way. The roundtables in law are fabulous. We've got somebody there that's very knowledgeable, has gone back to the brick by brick learning of what actually is, not what they want or think should be real and true, or it should work that way, or there's no reason it shouldn't work that way, is what I actually heard out of the mouths of some of those grifters. But it's just the real truth, and it's when you get to the real truth, it's not that sexy, but it's exciting for the person who actually wants the truth. So that's very cool. We've got 2 workshops coming up. Mr. Alex Michael, conspiracy music guru, is coming in to not so much teach a workshop, but to I'll guide a discussion on the creative process. Where does all that stuff erupt out of him from, at many levels? It could be, the lyrics, the music, his own voice, his will to express. The will, I was writing about this quite a lot last night for my Creator Code course. And so the will is housed here in your 5th chakra. You could call it your throat chakra. It's the it's interestingly called the Vishuddha chakra in Sanskrit. Vishuddha means purity. And so this was the aim for, or is the aim for Creator Code Will, which is on its way now, and really fun, amazing group. Like, wow, I'm so grateful. Shout out to you if you're in there. And so that will to express is very important. The Vishuddha chakra, very important. And the aim and the goal being pure inspiration, pure vision, pure creativity that's not driven by fear programming. Really different. Honestly, that's where I get all my juice from, if you ever wonder. There is somebody beautiful in my world, and she always calls me Wonder Woman, and I don't have a big ego about being a Wonder Woman, but I do credit the work that I do to the ability to create and sustain in a creation kind of a pace in my life. And you're finally enjoying being a pariah. There you go. Yeah, that's good. That's a good flip. And it can be complicated as well. I know this probably isn't you, but for me, I can enjoy being a pariah, but for the wrong reasons, because I have a rebel archetype, one of the shadows of whom enjoys when people get discombobulated by your version of reality, or the way that things change as a result of your presence and your knowledge. And there can be some shadow in there. I'm saying it just to remind myself not to enjoy people's no, not to enjoy my own pariahness. But I doubt that's you. So I'm not talking about you. And so let's see where we can begin. I did a degree in cultural anthropology. That makes me, and I got the gold medal in my class. That means I graduated at the top of my class. And that's not a way to brag. That's actually, okay, well, it is a little bit of a bragging. I do like to share that. But it is just to say that all of that education, no matter how well I did in it, did not qualify me to have this whole discussion ongoing about social and cultural evolution. It's partly because the things that they are imparting, some are real, some are not. My brain abandoned a lot of knowledge when I started digging into what's called epistemology, and like, how do you actually know what you know? And it turns out they can't know a whole bunch of things that they claim to know. They just can't know it. It's a lot of guesses. I remember in the archaeology world how they would date something. It would hit the headlines that, oh, this bone is 25,000 years old and change, or something like that. But if you go into it and you look at the dating technology, it's always plus or minus 40,000 years or 400,000 years or a million years or something like that. So it's absolutely fiction. The things that make their way into our popular culture, you have no idea, or you might, of course, have an idea what's behind the scenes there. It's just not what we think it is. So I didn't hold on to a lot of that stuff just because it was like sand in my hands, falling apart. It didn't deserve more than just my short-term memory. I did learn some things, and I can chat about this. So this is going to be a fairly casual episode as we just break into the series and introduce things now. But when it comes to cultural evolution, I used to hold this premise in mind that traditional cultures or ancient cultures were smarter than we were, and there seems to be some evidence for that at times, right? Like it's easy to look at that. I remember my father saying, we were arguing about this, and he was saying, "Oh, but they didn't have the symphony and the ballet and all of this, what we consider to be high culture and art galleries and all of that." And I said, "Yes, but they do their own music and they dance themselves. They don't sit in an audience and watch dancing. They actually do these things." Now, having said that, in a world that is being invaded, that is being could be taken over, the blur between the first and the third world is happening right here in my backyard. What is that going to mean in the short term? We can see all the craziness going on in the US as they I haven't looked deep in enough, but I did catch an episode with Jeff Berwick today that it was absolutely like I had to sit and hold my heart for a few minutes just to sustain the violence that's taking place in the guise of what? I'm not educated enough to really say too much about there. And hello, Mr. JJ Hebcrete Baird. Nice to see you. Glad to have you here. But so, is traditional culture, they used to call it primitive culture. They were named that by who? Can you guys guess? Named them primitive cultures. There still may be truth in it, but yeah, I'll see if anyone in the chat gets that. Who was that? It's very relevant to us in the so-called truth movement. Mike said, here in North Texas, you have a number one import of H1Ns in the country at the moment. Okay. I don't know H1Ns. That's not a virus, right? That's H1N1. And that's very sweet. Sending your love there, JJ. I interrupted myself. I was just talking about primitive cultures. So yes, who named those cultures primitive? We got a trinity of bears. There you go. That's divine. I never did become a bear. I never did get a bear name. I don't know why Owen Benjamin isn't receptive to me. I've made a few passes, even when he was going like, "Oh, I'll go on anybody's podcast," or even small podcasts I'll go on, and then so I relayed a message through a common friend, and he's like, "Nope, I don't know what that is. If there's, I don't know. I don't spend too much time thinking about it, but I love the bears for sure. Those that I meet. Hello, Miss Terry Wallace. Nice to see you over there on Facebook, where I am incredibly shadow banned. It's stupid. And somebody came looking for me the other day, and they said what they had to go through to get to me was stupid. And I can see this. And I put a post out, and is like, is anybody out there? I've been posting less as a result because it's less fun in a way that's working if they are doing it. So if you're on Facebook and you feel to tune in a little bit more with me, then that always helps, I think, in general. And he has made some positive comments on me before. That's nice to hear. That's really nice to hear. Okay, so that's the first I'm hearing about it. That's lovely. And yeah, I'm always open. So if anybody is in contact, then my door is always open to him. And I can be a bear anyway. Thank you. I'll be a bear, a Beth bear. That'd be easy. It could be a Beth bear. It could be Beth of Fresh Air bear. That rhymes. I like it. Yeah, Facebook is disgusting. I don't. This is a good discussion for culture. Maybe there's somebody that's going to come on specifically on social media. I I I don't I mean, they're disgusting for their censorship, for sure, but any platform where your voice can be heard and where you can connect with other individuals, to me, is gold. Like, yes, they're harvesting our data. Yes, they are surveilling us. Yes, they are desperately trying to get us to pick a side of all the sides that they present. I hear that that's almost entirely what's happening on X right now, that it's all rage bait. They show you outrageous things. They never show me anybody I follow. I have to go look at those specifically. I had to make my own list to see the people that I really follow. And they want you to engage. They want you to get mad. They want you to expose your position so they can datify all of that. But I don't see any of the platforms as inherently anything aside from that. It's just an opportunity to use the weapon of it, that's weaponized against us, to use it for good, right? If you have a message, if you have a purpose, if you have something to offer, and for the betterment of other people, then it's a vehicle. So I gratefully accept it until they actually kick me off. Then I will be there. But I get where you're coming from as well, Andrew. Terry's asking, where is Liam? He is on his way, apparently. So, as I mentioned at the very beginning, he's going to be coming on a little bit late. He was working. Apparently, he's not, he's going to show up really like as he is when he works. It's, snowing and blowing and it's cold. And he does snow removal in the winter. So it can be very physical, although he has a truck and a plow, and he gets like sweaty on the inside, and he gets crusted with snow and ice on the outside. One time he was literally showed a video. He was knocking on his head, and it was like a door, bang, bang, bang. So he's going to show up kind of as he is. I offered that he could run and grab a shower, but he's like, nope, he's good. So he might not be like the best looking right now, and that doesn't matter to me one bit. And yeah, you noticed he interacts a lot more with guys. Yeah, that's true actually. Yeah. It's a fairly common thing, in the truth space, which in and of itself is a social cultural evolution, not a new one. This is not a new invention. You hopefully know that by now. And it is mostly male, and you can see it's the guys that have got bigger audiences, and in a way that's good and fine, right? Is it even natural for a woman to be out on the airwaves and leading a charge and being the head of the spear? And that's not super feminine? I'm doing this because no one else is going to do it. I have to do it, so I'm doing it. But yep, there are a lot more successful guy influencers out there, if you want to call them that. And Mike said that the original European explorers and colonizers labeled everyone primitive, and then all archaeology after. Yeah, so not to leave that into, let's see what Jackie said. Primitive people were far better in tune with nature. I think that's why they were removed. Yeah, they had to be for survival. If they weren't in tune with nature, then nature schmucked them, because nature's not romantic at all. It's has many dangers. And yes, Beth of Fresh Air, Bear. Excellent. Got to write a letter with a super chat to the PO and get verified. Nice. Oh, I might do that just for fun. That would be fun for 2026. And thank you so much, Terry. I really appreciate you saying that. Censorship being truth and N1M. Censorship is justified as a temporary tool to reduce harm when information is believed to pose an immediate risk, but it becomes dangerous when it shifts from protecting people to protecting power. Yeah, exactly. Yeah, isn't it funny how on YouTube you can find, I mean, I haven't searched much, but I know it's there. You can find endless amounts of porn and all kinds of flavors of disgustingness going on there. And this is not considered of harm to society. But if I say something about something they don't, that's, like going to offend somebody's gender or offend somebody's culture and make me look like a racist or all of those kind of things, then I'm of danger. But oh, you can just go and completely murder uh, people's minds that get addicted and hijacked by all of that crap. Just one big example there. So, all right, where the heck was I going from here? I think I had a direction and I got myself distracted. So sorry about that. Oh yes, okay. I was going to give the punchline. So who created that word primitive? The eugenicists created the word primitive. And that's always who was intimating towards that already, Jackie K. So, primitive was a way to separate the us from the them, so that when they murdered and pillaged and wiped a bunch of thems off the earth, they were just primitives, right? And it was a way to justify this, making humanity more pure, more, genetically not mixed up, stuff like that. So, yeah. And so that word primitive, but frankly, I'm also seeing some other sides of it now. So I don't know how much I can go into it because I am here on YouTube, but that's, the cultures that are invading are more primitive. They just are, right? They don't have the level of morality. They don't, right? Like my son always points this out. You might talk about it today, about the Talmud and how many prescriptions for violence against people are in there, when it's okay to be violent against a woman or rape a woman, or I haven't read it all, but that's, if you want to define primitive, that's pretty primitive right there. The word is pretty weaponized too, because primal does not necessarily mean violent or without morals or any of that kind of stuff at all. Primal just means first, primary, prime numbers, all of that kind of thing, right? So it just means there's something there first. And that might be a little bit what Jackie was talking about primitive cultures being closer to nature. Now, we are not close to nature, and there are some amazing advantages of that, like what do they call it? Systemic plumbing and infrastructure that helps us manage our sewage and stuff like that. Some people will argue that we should never have lived in groups bigger than 200 people, because as soon as you hit, and this I do know from anthropology, as soon as you hit 200 and above, then you start to need administration. You start to need structure and regulations and management of the people as they move under 200. They can manage themselves and naturally, organically, probably will create those structures. But they will be created out of merit and knowledge and skill. The person that comes forward will not be a politician. They will be the one that can actually do stuff, right? So if there's a guy among them that has all the skills in electricity, then guess what? He's probably going to head up that department just by way of nature. So yeah, that word primitive, it's as usual, very nuanced and weaponized, and definitely traces back to lots of wrongs and truth as well. All right. Yeah. Spiritually primitive might be a way to describe that, Mike. That's well said. Yeah. Um, this is interesting. Chris, ancient people saw life in its entirety. If you want to say more about what that means to you. They also had a lot of explanations for things. We are fill in the blankers. A lot of our spiritual culture has come from the mystery that life is, probably also the mind wiping that we've had. But those mysteries, it's so tempting because people ultimately don't like mysteries at all. If they are more or less functioning and looping in their intellect the whole life, nothing wrong with the intellect. I never bash it. But if you only loop in the intellect, mysteries are an offense, and they will insult your intelligence. And you might go to work filling in that blank. And I'll say it politely making shit up. You might hear a lot of swearing from my son today, by the way. So language alert if you have children in the background. I try not to censor or regulate him because he'll do it more. So I have to just live with it, and hopefully that's okay with you. So let's see where else. I want to see all your comments. It isn't ignorance that's spreading, it's engineered dependency on narrative. Yep, you got it. Which is why it's so important to really hear and see, feel into the narrative and what's being pumped, and there'll be part truths in it. It's very energetically expensive to sort through all that stuff because, or at some point, not because, at some point you do get to a point where you know enough and you just don't need to spend your time in there. And it's a relief. There's some silence and some space can come into the being where it's not all full of that. And then, yeah, so when we make stuff up in place of the mystery of the unknown that we just can't know or we don't know, all of these stories come forward, and they can turn into narrative, they can turn into weapons, and they can be just innocent as well, just that discomfort with the unknown. Most evolved, bordering most devolved is more like it. Yeah, interesting. So I can see where you guys are coming from, feeling like in that living with nature would be a more evolved way. And but think about it. If you right in this moment, we're suddenly transported into this more evolved primitive way of life, living on the land, maybe you'd be a hunter and gatherer, just like grabbing your nuts and seeds, which are like high in oxalates, wild food, very high in poison, by the way. Fascinating little tidbit all by itself. You'd be reliant on, is your guy going to go out and and be successful in the hunt today or not? It's not a guarantee. Have you ever gone fishing and not got anything? It happens. So and then you might not have any like sewage system. Maybe you won't need it, because if you're living in a primitive way without hundreds and thousands and hundreds of thousands of people around, then you can hide your poop in a bush. That might go well. You might not have running water, and you might not get a shower. You won't have any well, you might have tools that you can make. If you can come up with tools, you won't have a single bit of like metal tool work unless you can yourself do that. Is it metallurgy? And what, extract it from the ground? How are you going to do that? It's like a miracle that there was even a so-called Iron Age. There's a lot of things that we don't think about. I do have friends cheering for the downfall of our society. And part of me just goes like, oops, be careful what you wish for. The collapse is not going to be pleasant or fun. So I don't know. That's just my take on it. I appreciate being in modern times. I actually really do. I love camping at the same time, though. I do love camping, but I always joke with myself when I think, oh yeah, I'm really close to the earth and I'm surviving here and I'm doing so well. It's like, but there's a water tap right there. And, I remember when my nephew got very badly injured in a campground, a little bit remote, and he had to have an ambulance come from another town. It wasn't a helicopter. We didn't put him in a helicopter, but there was a lot of technology involved, and we had the cell phone immediate call to 911 and all kinds of things. I can't imagine how we would have managed that if the resources were not there, right? So I do hear my son coming in. So it looks like he has arrived, and I'm going to yell in your ear for a second and let you know. Hi, Liam. Welcome.
Hello.
Come on in whenever you're ready. No rush. There you go. All right. Let's see. Being in Truth said Moses gave humanity a basic moral framework 35,000 years ago, and we're still tripping over the fundamentals. True story. I know, exactly. And Yeah, spiritually and intellectually primitive can be very true. Hello, hello.
Hi, how's it going?
Very good. Nice to see you.
Nice to see you too.
Yeah. Do you want to take your coat off? And I have a drink waiting for you here.
I don't know if the hoodie under here is any better.
Oh, that's okay. It doesn't matter. Yeah, just so you don't sweat to death. I do keep my place a little bit like a sauna, so it's warm. If it's too warm, we can turn the heat off or down, not off. We would die. Ancient people lived in the now. Yeah. So, I mean, is there some kind of hybrid? I'm just talking about primitive societies. And I'm going to move my chair over so we can get Liam in the shot here.
Hello, everybody that's watching. I look like a thug because my hair would look even worse. I'm not even lying.
That's okay.
This is better than my hair right now.
All right. And I'm going to move this mic so you can be seen.
Oh, there we go.
Yeah.
Hello, everybody.
That's really great to have you here. Welcome.
Nice to see you.
Yep. I'll take you however you look. My man is a hard worker, so he's been out battling the snows.
Sure have been.
Yeah.
It's been snowy.
It's been snowy. Exactly. Can you guys let us know if we can still be heard well enough, just for the sake of the sound? And so I will leave the primitive culture conversation for now, and you're getting welcomed already. Everybody's loving that you're here.
Hello, everybody.
So cool. This is this in your way?
No, it's all good.
Yeah, let's see. Do that a bit more. Okay. And Miss Maya saying hello, and Melanie is in the background.
Hello, Melanie.
Melanie was here last week.
Yeah, right.
On Beth of Fresh Air. Yeah. It's getting to be a good theme. And heard well enough. Okay, good. All right. So keep us posted. We'll try to.
Right,
okay, that's never a bad idea. My phone is always silent except for Liam, so it won't be ringing since he's here now. Very good, and thank you so much for the warm welcomes. So I'm going to turn towards my notes, and so we're talking about culture and the evolution of society.
Okay.
And so the hope was to have you here and to see that through your eyes. So maybe, and I can just ask you questions.
Sure.
That will help you to discern, to answer. And so over the course of your lifetime, which is 19 years and a few days.
Yep, in a few days. Yeah.
How have you seen the world change?
I've seen it go from what was pretty great in the early 2010s, and it's pretty much just been like a spiraling, just downhill. Just downhill. Like, we've had advancements that I think are good, but like for the most part, I can't think of one good thing that's happened like the last 10 years. Right. That actually like, I don't know what the right word for this is, but overcomes the cons.
The pros aren't big enough to overcome the cons.
That's exactly it.
Okay, there you go. Yeah. So that's pretty heartbreaking. I know that. I already know that, and so it's good to hear through your eyes. How has that affected you in your life? Because you know what, you're turning out really good.
Yeah,
really amazing.
I don't know. I feel like it almost like seeing like all the bullshit in the world made me want to almost just like do better in every way. So
right. That's amazing.
And kind of not do what society is doing. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Kind of veer off of all the retards. I don't know.
Yeah, technical term retards.
Yeah,
in case you guys don't know technical, that one yet.
We are. That's like a scientific term.
Yeah, exactly. It should go in the scientific dictionaries.
Exactly.
Yeah.
It might be.
Yeah, exactly. So one of the things I'm very curious. I know you and I have talked about a lot of things and a lot of time, but never maybe in this container. Mm-hmm. What happened for you in 2020? When the world went bananas and on lockdown and schools were closed and they were trying to scare the heck out of everybody that you're going to die of a boogeyman virus. What was that like for you?
Honestly, I was like, didn't give a fuck. Can I swear?
I said I wouldn't regulate you. So yeah, you can do as you like.
Okay, my apologies. It's baked into my vocabulary. But my apologies. Sorry, what was the question again?
What happened for you in 2020 when everything just, suddenly
Right, yeah.
stopped?
Yeah. I was pretty happy, and also a lot of not really giving a shit, because at least for me, I was still pretty young. I think I was like 14, right? 14 or 13 when it first happened.
Yeah,
which is
so that's
insane to think about.
Yeah, 6 years ago would have been.
It's weird to say that 2020 was 6 years ago.
I
doesn't
know.
sound right at all.
Doesn't it seem like a huge amount of time?
But it seems like it's nothing.
Yeah.
And it's weird. We're closer to 2030 now than we are to 2020. It's like, what the heck's going on?
Yeah.
So, but yeah, I was really happy, obviously, because school went out, and that allowed me to, like, I guess everything went online, right?
Yeah.
Well, my school didn't for the longest, and then it did. But I was quite happy because even with all that online stuff, like, our grades couldn't change. So whatever you had when our schools got shut down, it stayed like that, didn't go up or down, unless it would go up if you did like work. But who wants to do schoolwork? Not me. So it was pretty great, actually. Allowed me to skip grade at like 7 and 8. I'm going to be honest. Like
Right.
A good majority of 7 and 8. And those are the worst grades, by the way. The hardest grades, the worst. Like,
Why?
I think, I don't know, maybe I just got really shitty teachers that gave out shitty work, but I feel like they almost like test you, because those are the grades right before you go into high school. I mean, obviously, I guess in some high schools, grade 7 is considered high school or whatever in our North America terms. But yeah, that's how I think. I was very happy about that, to be honest. As soon as I was like, damn, I get to not only sit at home, not go to school, lay in bed while I attend class, and then play video games and play guitar and did what I wanted to do, learned what I wanted to learn,
Right. Because previous to that, school was something that you didn't want to do.
Not at all.
Yeah.
No kid does.
No. You asked me as a young guy, you might have been like 8 years old or 9 years old. And you said, Mama, why do you get to do what you want every day? And I have to go to school. And I'm like, oh, he's onto it, actually. He knows that there is another way.
There definitely is, but I feel like, though that's like a really good question, but also in a way that, like, when I said that, again, I didn't know what I was talking about. Is the real world better than school? And it has its ways. It's not easier, though. I'll tell you that it's not easier. But
Yeah, exactly. So I'm a bit of a rebel mom, you might say that.
Yeah, you could say that.
Yeah, you notice that.
Yeah.
And so I didn't force you to go to school. If there was a lot of pushback, then it'd be like, okay, well, you stay with me and we'll do this and we'll do that, or whatever it was. I would take you on vacations.
And I always noticed you it wasn't just like a come home and be a lazy shit ass, you actually always took me out and we did stuff, whether it was like active, going for a walk, throwing a football, it was always something that actually benefits, it's not just like, let's pull your kid out of school and sit on an iPad all day. That's not doing them any good. Stop giving your kids iPads. Give them a dirt bike instead. But like, yeah. That's
yeah, exactly. That's the harm. And frankly, I never did any what you would call homeschooling either, because you didn't really want to learn anything from me.
Here's the issue with like homeschooling, in my opinion. You're not learning much. You're gonna learn how to speak and understand English, say, by like speaking it. All homeschooling is just a huge textbook that's this big, right? That they just want to go through. But like a big part of like high school, in my opinion, is like social skills. And a lot of people don't have that coming out of high school, but you should learn them, and you should, because you want a job anywhere. I mean, you got to talk to people. You got to know how to talk to people as well.
Right. And
It's a big part.
this is exactly on point with our social evolution, our societal evolution, that if you don't have social skills, which the education system really isn't giving you, you might develop them in that environment. But so you're all together, but you're not actually relating with each other. You're just simply absorbing what the guy at the front is imparting and testing you on.
Exactly. And most of the time, they're just reading off a textbook.
And the reading of a textbook. Exactly.
Most of the time.
Exactly.
Like everything you see in Canadian schools is off a curriculum. Like I have friends that are in completely different school divisions as I was, and they're doing the exact same stuff I did.
Right. Right.
So it's like,
yeah, it's been standardized and
very much
dumbed down and controlled, making sure that everybody gets the same propaganda kind of narrative.
Mm-hmm.
Now, when 2020 hit, and you had your couple of years off, which I hear that was good. You liked that.
I really liked it. Actually.
You liked it.
Yeah.
But when they took down the restrictions to the degree that you could go back to school, you wanted to go.
Yeah, it was that, again, like not having social interactions for a while. You know, my dad wouldn't let me like see anybody. So it was like, or it's not that he didn't let me see anybody, but it was just like a huge, big ordeal because he, was scared of all the bullshit. And
yeah, he wouldn't even see people close to him. I did a run through the border, and they quarantined me, and they were actually going to, because you and I didn't live together at the time. You lived more with your dad.
Mm-hmm.
And they were trying to tell me that I wasn't going to be able to see Liam. And I'm just like, that's when mama starts to swear. It's like, get away from me and get away from us. And you have nothing to do with us. I remember they actually called me on the phone and they said, quick aside, they said, oh, by the way, they were checking up on me that I was actually quarantining, which I wasn't. And they said, oh, by the way, where is your garbage? And I'm like, outside, like everybody's. And they said, oh, well, you're not going to be able to take out the garbage anymore. And I just said, I said to the woman, that's stupid. And then she goes, yeah, you're right. Like this, just,
they even know it. Like,
yeah. The level of insanity was crazy. And that was a very interesting turn. You went from knowing that the school system was mostly a bunch of crap. We treated it a la carte. If you wanted to be at school, you could. If you didn't want to be, you didn't have to be. But after they opened the schools again, you had like pretty good attendance for regular, so that's in a way, to me, how they weaponized it against the children was by starving them of social interaction, bringing it back, but under conditions, right? Like there were masks. Mm-hmm. Luckily, there were things that you were excluded from because you didn't get jabbed. We can't say the V word, by the way.
Oh, is that bad?
Yeah, censorable.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. All right.
Yeah.
Yeah, my school wasn't awful about it, at least from my point of view. I don't know how you saw things, but I don't know. It was, because I remember when we went back to school for the first time, well, when we were supposed to, or no. Oh, when did we go back to school? I don't remember. But
lots of blurs. You had one year I think left in Windsor, and then you went on to high school.
Right. Yeah. I remember that. I don't know. It was weird. Okay. Now it's coming back. It was weird, obviously, like to see desks, however many feet they mandated it away. Like, was it like 15 feet or something they said?
6 feet.
6 feet.
Yeah. 6 feet under, 6 feet apart.
Yeah, exactly. It was goofy. I don't know. There wasn't really any limitation of like friends, I guess you could say, or social interactions. I mean, if a kid wants to yell across a classroom, a kid's going to yell across a classroom, right?
Right.
Even though the teachers hate it, we did it anyways. But
right.
I mean, I'm going to talk to my friend one way or another,
Yep. Yeah. And so In that context, um, how did it feel to be excluded from certain? I can't remember what the activity was that you couldn't do because you weren't jabbed. We were at war with the Louis Riel School Division at the time. I was literally noticing them and sending a lot of paperwork. Might have been called, I probably shouldn't say that word on YouTube either, but I was harassing them with multiple notices, and they did actually quiet down. But for the first while, they became this major health authority. It's like, no, you're a school division, right? The superintendent became a megalomaniac,
Mm-hmm.
and you could see how much money was being poured into the administration because he was a ringleader in that arena. But he got real quiet after that, I noticed.
Yeah, not many people like that guy.
They didn't like him. No.
Even still, not many people like that guy.
Right.
So.
Right. Exactly. And so then, let's see, where was I headed with that? So yeah, so your social life got threatened, and it made you want it. Kind of like when you see the world is going mad and in every direction, it makes you want to be like a good person.
Sure.
So you can see how in a way they can control us that way too.
Big time.
Here's one thing I wanted to bring up. There was a moment now earlier on, it would have been in the midst of those first 2 years when it was really intense. And you had me in your life and you had your dad in your life on diametrically opposed sides of those views. I came around fairly soon to realize that there was a plandemic, not an epidemic. And your dad was, like you said, he was scared. He didn't want to get sick. He wasn't seeing people even really close to him.
Yeah, not even his only relative left is his sister. It's the only one. It's the only two people in his bloodline left.
Right, and he wouldn't see her. Right. And even his girlfriend, I think, at the time. Right.
Probably
right.
Not.
So what was that like for you, Liam, to have these two opposed opinions?
I mean, it gave me a good idea that, well, first of all, it kind of opened up the world that people do have a different opinion other than what the government says. I don't know. I was very back and forth about who I believed and trusted and whatnot. Obviously I know what's true now, but I'll never pick and choose a side there.
Right, of course, and that I was, hopefully not putting you in that position, but there were two sides. Darn it, hey! And do you want to hear what you told me one day?
Sure.
You said to me, "Mom, I don't believe what you say about it, and I don't believe what my dad says about it." So that was it. And in my mind, I went like, "Yes, that's amazing." Do you know why I thought that was amazing?
Why is that?
Because you were thinking for yourself.
Yeah.
And I thought, if I have helped to facilitate that or not, or if you just got that skill, then that gave me a ton of confidence about you, that you were making up your mind. And are you guys hearing Liam okay? I'm assuming you'll let us know. And we'll come to comments in a little bit as well. Do you want to come just a little bit closer?
Sure.
And yeah, you're still in the shot there. Good. So then, boy, I need my notebook because I keep forgetting what I'm going to say here.
Do you want me to grab it for you?
No, that's okay. So how did you wake yourself up? Like, given that you were in that place of obvious confusion and rejecting both of our stories about it, how did you wake yourself up?
A big part of it is growing up, because when you're even though I'm only 19, but even at 16 years old, I feel like there's still not a whole lot of give a shit about what's going on in the world, But it really only started when I started to get into pew pews. I'll say that because it's YouTube. I don't know how
Oh, okay.
strict they are with those.
Okay.
But yeah, it really started when I got into that and started noticing the inconsistency in our laws.
Right. And which particular laws did you notice some inconsistency in?
Can I say that word?
Yeah, I think so. Like it's not a bad word if we don't say it repeatedly over and over again.
I'll use the term firearms. But yeah, I just noticed the inconsistency in the retardation in our firearm laws. I'm like, wow, this doesn't make sense.
Mm-hmm.
And it kind of just spirals deeper and deeper. And then you kind of just go through and realize, wait, this shit doesn't exist. Not like 90% of what these guys are saying are what's actually true.
Right. So. Yeah, because it wasn't long after 2020 when our government removed how many firearms from our available list and made them restricted, made them impossible to
prohibited.
That's what they're called. Now. There you go. Yeah.
Oh man, a crap ton. I don't even know the number, but I think it was like in the thousands that they got rid of.
Really? Yeah. Oh, that many? Okay. Yeah. We've had a couple of bloodbaths around that where they took a big chunk and then you could see those guys would stay up all night long and come up with 357 more, firearms to prohibit.
Exactly.
And and then, so anyway, it doesn't matter what but you came home one day and this was when everything had been hanging in the balance, and you told me about the gun bans, and you said this is bullshit and our government is corrupt. Like this.
Yeah.
And I went, yes, right. So in a way you used something that interested you to find your way to greater knowledge rather than just listening to me or listening to anybody.
Yeah, I feel like that's definitely the way that I kind of like started to see things. That's the way that I personally did, but I don't think a lot of people will go down that route and realize unless they have like an influence that's like this. But with me, again, I had opposite sides.
Right.
So it was like super, super right, super, super left on the other side, right?
Right.
So it was, I mean, not super, super right, but you know what I mean?
Right. Right. And so aside from it being inconvenient and, limiting our choice and our ability to just get, what we want or need.
Yeah.
How did you see that as a bad sign that they were prohibiting firearms? Doing the bans?
Well, the reason they do it, not the reason I think they are, but the reason they are is because they're just trying to take guns off people. They don't want us to have the option to defend ourselves. Even though we don't use firearms in Canada to defend ourselves. Legally, exactly. We don't do that.
Exactly. Exactly.
But they literally what they do is they create a shooting or something like that, and they use it as a reason to ban stuff.
Exactly.
And that's what I was noticing. It would be a consistent shooting, ban.
Right. It's a pattern.
It literally is a pattern.
Yeah. And you recognized it all by yourself. This wasn't me pointing it out to you.
It's very, very prevalent in the gun community. People very, very much know that.
Right.
But even then, I did realize that on my own,
Yeah.
They're like, yeah, well, there's inconsistency here. There's, nothing makes the thing about firearm laws, especially in Canada. In the States, they're a little bit autistic, but in Canada, it's just, you look at our gun laws and you think like, who is making our gun laws on meth? Like,
right.
Who did a pound of mushrooms and then made our gun laws?
Yeah. Yeah. It's something like that.
Somewhat like I could go on and on and on about how dumb they are, and even still, but they just make no sense.
Right.
If you know anything about firearms, they make no sense.
Right. And does it feel to you that they are dumb or that they are sinister or both?
Sinister being like they know they're being stupid?
Well, they know they're that's the sort of evil, sinister.
Yeah. Oh, well, 100% they're doing that, but I don't know. I feel like it's almost like a wild goose chase. They're like pretending to be stupid to like get people's I guess, reaction. I don't know.
Yeah.
Also, it's very possible that the people who create our laws are just retards.
Yeah.
And not like, oh, you did that, you're dumb. It's like just full on retard, like low functioning autism.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
I don't
Exactly.
know.
Yeah. 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 There's all these arguments that autism is good and it's really good. And it's like, no, brain damage.
I mean, you'll be good at math,
You might be good at math. You might be good at one thing.
and then the rest of life, don't even worry about it.
Well, this is interesting because from the very little that I know about it, maybe you guys can chime in and let us know more. But what those, they might be like the concert pianist or know a lot of math, but they will have zero social skills.
Yeah, it's pretty common. It's just like I do see now that like some parents of disabled kids try to like do you remember we were in Dollarama one time and there was that special ed kid going around and he was just saying hi to everybody.
Mhm.
Every single person in the store he had to say hi to.
Yeah, he'd come up and go, "Hello."
Yeah, exactly.
Like right in your face.
That's their parents trying to get that guy to be more social but obviously their brains are rewired. We don't think like them. I don't know how they think,
Yeah. Yeah.
So it's like it's all a little bit difficult to kind of really understand.
Yeah, so that can be part of the scam because one of the main ways that that A thing comes about, just in case I'm saying that word, we're saying that word too many times. God knows, I don't know what's censorable anymore. But we know it's through the jibby jabs that the rate of jibby jabs has tracked with the rate of autism. Yeah, so then it is a kind of way to destroy culture. We think of it more maybe as a way to destroy our health, and it is that, but it also is very much destroying society, because if you have more and more and more people that can't go through normal social interactions, then that is eroding our society.
Yeah, big time. It's just the same thing as putting like garbage in our food. They're just trying to make you stupider.
Yeah,
it's not a word.
Yeah, that's
think.
okay.
Really ironic. But anyways, yeah, they're just trying to make us retarded.
Yep, exactly.
That's kind of just it.
Yeah,
There's like a lot more like special ed people. I don't know. There's a lot more now. A lot more, especially young people. Like in my school, when I did go to school, there were like, I don't know, I swear to God, like 4 different special ed classrooms. It's kind of insane.
Wow, that's a lot. And did they also not start to mix the special ed and the people together?
No, my school actually had 3 different like tiers of like, I guess you could say IQ. Not IQ, but like,
yeah, levels.
Are you like a normal functioning human being? Are you slightly autistic and like weird? That's a bad way to say it. Or are you like low functioning autism sitting there smacking yourself, right? There was like, yeah, exactly.
Sorry.
Yeah. But yeah, there was like normal school and there was co-op ed, which is like the kids that are like, they're normal, but they're like kind of really fucked up in the head. You know what I mean? It's weird. I caught a lot of them smoking.
Interesting.
That was really weird to see, like the special ed kids smoking cigarettes. I'm like, you're already in the special ed class. That cannot be fucking good for you.
Right.
That cannot do you wonders.
I wonder if they're seeking nicotinic acid. I have to geek out for 1 second about that because there is a small in nicotine. You do end up getting a small amount of nicotinic acid, which is it's brain food. You create what's called NAD, which is all kinds of precursor to all kinds of pathway yeah. Anyway, I shouldn't go off into it too much.
It's all good.
I'm still writing about it.
I mean, it's definitely a possibility, but I think they were doing it just to look cool.
Okay. Fair enough. Yeah, fair enough. Yeah, go figure. So let's see. Let's maybe look at the comments a little and see if there's any thoughts. If you guys have questions for Liam, is that okay if they ask?
All good. Yeah.
Okay, so we'll go back and see a few more welcomes here. Hello, she is the Killer Queen. Nice to have you here. JJ Hempcrete is saying hi.
That's cool how you can click the comment and it like puts it on the screen.
I
That's
know,
cool.
I know. Yeah,
So easy.
Liam was trying to teach me OBS, and I just realized how good I have it on StreamYard because there's so many little functions that are easy. And
It's like the Apple of OBS. Everything just is there and it just works.
yeah, and they keep improving it, making sure you want to stay around too. So it is kind of fun. The In Truth said, "Could this be the divine's way of sharpening our discernment through lived experience?" Yeah, I mean it. Here's how you answer first, and then I'll have a go at that.
There's a lot of big words. I don't know what the discernment means.
That means that you could see the difference between the government that was claiming to protect you from firearms and the agenda behind it. That's discernment.
Okay.
Yeah, it appears to be one thing, but when you look really close, you can discern that it's not that.
Well, honestly, in my opinion, the best way of I feel like I'm not understanding the question.
Yeah, I'll give the context that I think is there.
Sure.
That it's like we were talking about, that you didn't want to go to school, but then you did want to go to school, and then just like they're guessing, like, could this actually be some divine plan so we get smarter, so we develop our discernment? What do you think about that?
I think it's possible.
It's possible.
I don't see how it couldn't be. Again, whenever I hear new information, to see there, I don't have a say.
Right.
But,
yeah, exactly. Here's how I see it.
Sure.
So I can share with you that
for sure.
that my take is like, no, they are retarded. No, they are stupid. No, they are evil. They're now that it's just such a big word, because you'd have to take each individual and on their own merit.
Yeah.
But in general, that's all true. Now, what we can do, what you have done, is make good on it. Take a bad thing and do good because of it. Literally, you see wrong and then you do good. It's part of there's an archetype called the trickster, and they are contraries. So if you're gonna, and we could talk about this next, morals, if you're gonna promote crappy morals, then I'm gonna up my morals. I'm gonna be even more moral. Right. So I think that's what Be In Truth is talking about. Do you want to say anything more?
No, that's perfect.
Okay, very good. And public school operates as a debtor school and a mind controlling system for public side. Liam knew at a deep level that it wasn't for him. That discernment is his natural gift. Would you agree with that?
I think so. Yeah.
Yeah.
But I also want to say a lot of people think how I did.
Right. You weren't alone. And that's good. Thank God. Right.
Yeah. Oh, for sure. No,
yeah.
You probably can't find a single kid that actually wants to attend school, Right.
Yeah. It's been made to be torturous and miserable in a lot of different ways, and numb you out and dumb you down from the pain of that. And they also said in the mystery schools, Liam's natural gifts would be recognized and deliberately cultivated. On the public side, those same gifts are often suppressed through indoctrination rather than developed. Right, exactly. Now you managed to walk the razor's edge. You weren't like so out with your rebel nature that you would get in trouble for that. You had friends that did, that would really balk against the system. Who is it that kept fighting the system? Was it Grayson in Riverview? Yeah, and he would take the brunt for everybody, it seemed like.
Yeah, pretty much.
Yeah.
Because all the teachers already just expected, it's Grayson.
Yeah, exactly. So yeah, you walked more of a razor's edge. You knew how to be, like, you were way more social skilled than I was, because we hit that point in history where, for me, the gauntlet came off. It's like, you're going to smash and crush and control and poison and demoralize the people, then I'm not holding my tongue anymore, was my decision. Now, I'm not even saying that was right, that I did the right thing. Do you remember the times that we were in public and I made a scene?
Yeah, I do.
Yeah. How do you feel about that now?
It was awkward, but I feel like, again, at a younger age, didn't really understand it. So I kind of always just took it as oh, what the fuck? But what happens, happens, you know?
Yeah.
If something needs to be said, then something needs to be said.
Right. Well, thank you for your forgiveness.
No, it's no worries.
I did embarrass you many times. I know that. And I worked overtime to do that a lot less. So,
Sure.
yeah, but it's this fine line too, because I also wanted to demonstrate free speech and the
For
freedom
sure.
to express an opinion that's different.
Mm-hmm.
And to point out the elephant in the room is one metaphor. There's another metaphor that does anyone know that with the origin of the story, the emperor has no clothes? It's basically that you had the naked emperor, but he wanted everyone to believe that he had clothes on, but everybody knew he was naked. And then the brainwashed people would, oh yes, he has clothes. Oh yes. Oh, aren't they beautiful or whatever? I don't know. I can't go any deeper with that story. I bet somebody here knows. You all know the cool side. Yeah. What percentage of those that you went to school with would you say were more like you rather than more like retarded?
Not many.
Not many.
Very few.
Very few. If you had to say a percent, what are you thinking? Like 10 or less than 10?
Of people that were like me?
Yeah.
Maybe like 20%.
20%.
20 or 30%.
Okay.
There are people in school, in the public system, that know what's going on.
Right.
A lot of young people, actually. Like a lot of young people.
That's good. That's what I noticed.
Yeah.
And then, so like, say on the whole gender thing that ramped up like crazy
Yeah.
when Trudeau was in power, and I was very protective over this. So I asked you one day, do your classmates have what do they call it?
Pronouns.
Pronouns. Thank you. I don't even remember. Yeah. What was that like for you to see all of that? Because that wasn't there before.
Yeah, I honestly didn't like really give a shit. It's gonna sound bad. I always made fun of gay people. Like, I always used gay as an insult. Like, I was like, oh, this fell off the table, that's gay, right? I don't know. I always thought, homosexuality was fucking weird. I always used it as a kind of an insult. I'd be like, oh, you're gay, right? But I don't know. It's people, obviously teachers started having their pronouns on shit and whatnot. And it was kind of just that push, because I think the government mandated shit like that. But I don't know. There were probably gay people in my school. I didn't give a shit about them, to be honest. But
right. Right. Yeah.
And again, the thing is, it's like, but it's like, I don't know. I don't care for it. I don't want to hear about it. I just don't push it on me. And it wasn't pushed on me. We didn't have any like stupid books, stupid teaching about that stuff. So I just, I didn't outlash or anything, because here's like my thing is like, if you're going to push like homosexuality on me, like, I don't care if you're gay. If you want to be gay, that's cool. Yeah. I mean,
you do.
We live in a free country, right? You can do what you want. But as soon as you try to like tell me I'm wrong for being who I am, that's when I'm going to start being super against it.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Yeah, that makes sense.
And to the point where I'm going to tell them to stop touching children, probably, because they probably do. But it's like, that's the biggest one, is like, leave the kids alone.
Yeah, leave the kids alone. Oh my goodness, I know.
Whenever I've had a gay person try to like push homosexuality on me, I always just say, leave the kids alone. Like, it's kind of weird, because every time you say that to like a gay person that's trying to persuade you to be like LGBT, you say that kid thing, and they always got that look on their face. Why are all the gay people pedophiles? Like, what's up with that?
They aren't, but there's a lot of, it's in.
Well, look at this. Hasn't, like, I could be wrong, but I swear to God, like 70% of school shootings were all gay people, all trans people. There's coming back to patterns. That's a pattern. Like,
Right.
I don't know. The second you turn trans, do you just immediately want to shoot up a school like that? Probably not. But it's just like, I don't know.
Yeah, it's twisted, and from what I've learned, that those things don't happen naturally, right?
No, it's some type of. It's usually like childhood trauma,
abuse.
100%. You
Yeah.
know, and even then, still childhood trauma, like with newer kids. You got parents like influence. There's a whole like thing online of this like 8-year-old kid. He's gay, and he was doing like a live stream with his like mom and brother. I remember this, and he was literally saying he doesn't want to be gay. He doesn't want to do that. He doesn't want to dress like that. And his mom was trying to pretend like he was saying that on his own. Like he did all that stuff on his own. You can just see it's just the parents. And most of the time it's just a cash pot. Oh, you have a gay 8-year-old? That's a fucking cash pot. Go on TikTok and, make millions of dollars because a gay 8-year-old is interesting.
Right.
Which is pretty fucking weird.
Right. That is disgusting.
If you can't get a tattoo, you shouldn't be able to fucking chop your dick off. Excuse my language.
Yes, exactly. I know it's absolutely tragic. And even if that kid did have that idea earlier, he should be allowed to change his mind, right?
Mm-hmm.
You like skateboards for a while, and then you liked the cameras.
I've liked everything. Every hobby under the sun, I've done it. I've probably done it.
Yeah, and you've moved and evolved in your interests, and I could have tried to stick you to the skateboard thing or stick you to this whatever, but I thought, what? Let him explore. Let you explore your own interests.
That's the best thing you can do, especially for your kids. Let them do what they want. They want to ride a dirt bike, let them ride a dirt bike.
Especially
dirt bikes.
Yeah, which you are a very big fan of.
I like those a lot.
Yeah, it's pretty fun. It's pretty fun. Yeah. They don't ride very well in the winter.
No, they don't. We don't really do dirt bikes in the winter.
Not so much.
No, that's when we switch to snowmobiles.
Right.
Sleds, yeah.
Yeah, fair enough. Yeah, so that's a kind of tragic. And sound is good. I'm glad that's...
Also, one more thing. If your kid is thinking of being gay, put them on a dirt bike.
Put them on a dirt bike. Yeah. There
There's
you go.
not a lot of queer in the MX community. Almost none of it.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, that was another really beautiful thing, is that you found through your interests ways to go out and interact with more people, and you made a whole crowd of friends in that were dirt bikers.
Yeah, I know about 30 of them now.
Yeah, you created your own group on Instagram or something.
Yeah. I didn't really follow that one up a whole lot. I just wasn't really worth my time, in my opinion. But yeah, no, the social life, bike life, big time. A lot of people really don't like bike life. That's what you could almost call the sport, which is like street riding, a lot of people really dislike it. And I get it. It's like, it can be loud and whatnot, but like also you got to look at it like those people could be like, shooting up schools.
Right.
But they choose a different crime,
Right.
Victimless crimes, if you ask. If you ask me, I would consider it a victimless crime.
Right.
Like, people will get so damn upset for a wheelie.
It freaked me out. We'd be out there, and then all of a sudden Liam would be up on one wheel, woo! Yeah. And I'm going, oh my God. Yeah.
Well, it's just people like get so upset over like stuff like that, in my opinion. And I get it. It can be dangerous 100%. Like, people, if you don't know what you're doing, like, don't try to wheelie. Don't try to do that the second you hop on any bike. But it's like, if you actually know what you're doing, of course mistakes happen, and mistakes are always going to happen, whether you like them or not, at the right time or wrong time. But I don't know. It's just something.
Yeah. So I was actually going to bring this up, that one of the things that you discovered on your dirt bike adventures is homeless camps.
Big time. Yeah,
And
yeah. When you're riding urban like that, especially like, you know, on a bike, especially like in a city, that's the biggest thing. Like dense city and downtown specifically as well. You know, a lot of people. Most people don't go to our downtown. A lot of people don't unless they have to. But I kind of took it to myself. I didn't know that area at all. Like up until I got my driver's license, really, I didn't know Winnipeg that well. At least I thought I did, and I turns out along, wow, there's all these areas that I've never seen before. But that really explored this, or let me explore the city, and not only like you could say learn downtown, but learn how to. You can say this. I guess this is a ghetto skill, but street smart.
right.
Whether you don't want to ever have to use that knowledge, again, better to have it and not need it than need it and not have it, right?
So what was it like for you the first time you came across and you were like right there in the vicinity of that homeless camp? What did it say to you about your society, about your culture? How did you react?
At first, it was shocking because the ones that like I've always knew there was homeless camps. You can get kind of like little glimpses of them driving on some of our roads, but once you're right in the trails and you're like right next to them, it's crazy. Like
It's in your face.
yeah, and it's weird. It was like almost a shocking and almost like, damn, this is sad. Like this is really sad. This is just here. Not the part. I mean, it's sad. I mean, for the people, I guess you could say, but also you got to look at it like a lot of those people are homeless by choice. It's not a. I mean, not by choice, but a lot of these people don't want to get sober. You know, that's the biggest issue, by the way, is drugs. It's not just. So it's not just like jobs are hard to get now. That's not why people are homeless. It's drugs. But again, can't help somebody if they don't want help, right?
Right.
And that's the biggest thing with these homeless people.
You make a very important point because it could be like, oh, it's the economy, and it's partly that too.
100%. I'm not.
Mhm.
I'm. The economy went to shit. I'm not saying that there aren't homeless people out there who are clean,
Mhm.
but it's just like 99% of them here, at least, is because of substance abuse.
Right. Yeah, there's always a choice, right? You don't
Mhm.
have to live in a tent under a bridge. You really don't have to. And I might be naive about. We live in a um, social. What do they call us? A socialist country where they have resources. They have, even though they're not really good options.
Yeah,
But
I will say our homeless resources, especially in Winnipeg is a very neglected city. Manitoba is extremely neglected from the rest of Canada. After seeing the little bits of Canada that I have seen, like no place. Okay, Winnipeg has its beauties. Manitoba has its beauties, no doubt. It has its nice parts, right? Manitoba's beautiful, but
Mhm.
the people are the absolute shittiest. The drivers, yeah, but
Yeah.
it's not terribly amazing.
Yeah, fair enough. How did your view of society change when you became a driver? When you
Everybody's stupid. Everybody on the road is trying to kill you, and everybody on the road is dumb. Every single person doesn't matter. Like every single person is stupid.
Right.
Unless you're driving like a cool car, then I might not think you're that stupid. But I mean, the second you pull something stupid, that opinion's changing right there.
Right. Yeah, it's a whole other kind of view of life. Do you remember that precipice where you actually didn't really want your license that bad? It was me who wanted it.
Yeah, it was weird. I think it was because like after having a huge pause in life and not really like getting out like from the COVID shit, and it was kind of just like a wanting to just kind of do nothing, like, and not, at least for me in my current time in life didn't see a need for a driver's license. But again, make your kids get their license. It's worth it, 100%. I mean, so many people I know can't get jobs because they don't have their license. Even if their job doesn't require driving a vehicle, you still got to get there.
Yeah.
So, yeah, it's quite worth it. Make your kids do that. That's one thing. Make them get their license.
Right. Yeah, it is a basic skill in our modern society that if you don't have it,
and if you live
you're
in
compromised.
If you live in Europe, I think you're probably okay because they have a lot of really good public transportation here. But where we live, a city built for cars, we have a damn highway that goes around the whole city. It's pretty fun, but
yeah.
You especially at least in North America, you need your driver's license. It doesn't matter if you're not going to buy a car anytime soon, just get it.
Yeah.
Just get your license,
Exactly.
I know this one person online, she's almost 20 and she doesn't have her license yet. No permit, no learners.
Right. And one of your dad's friends who's in her 70s now.
Won't point out names, but she is very, very disconnected from the world. She doesn't like anything. No online banking. She's got a flip phone,
She never got her driver's license. She's always depended on people to...
My father.
Yeah, to take her for groceries and everything like that. And I love her, and I'm not shit talking her. It's
just for sure. All respect if she sees this,
Yeah.
But
it's a limitation. And what about the evolution of the so-called, electric revolution that was going to take over? What was your view on that?
EVs are full-on EV is stupid, in my opinion. It'll never work. It's too expensive. We don't have enough batteries, not enough resources. It just will never work. We'll never go full electric. It'll never happen. Doesn't matter how much money they try to pay us or cost us. They're just going to be putting people in debt at that point. Sorry.
What do you think was the psyop there, that if it wasn't even really possible for the vast majority of people, they just don't have the resources?
I think it was a hope.
It was a hope.
It was because again, the whole EV push, the way I see it, is it's just a way to control people. Again, all EVs are as digital as it gets. Not EVs. I'm not talking about HEVs. That's a whole separate thing. I'll cover that. That's the hybrid EVs. But full on electric, like Tesla, Mustang Mach-E, use those as examples. They're gimmicks. That's the best way to say.
Right.
With the electric push. Now, PEV, like personal electric vehicles, like those scooters, the Surons, right? Those are great. Actually, those are a really, really great invention, in my opinion. It really it kind of opens up the world just that much more for someone who doesn't have their license. If you could go and buy a scooter that does 50 mile an hour, and there you go. You can pretty much get around wherever you need to go. But
isn't there a scooter that does 90 or something like that?
There's scooters that do highway speeds.
That's insanity.
I tried one of the ones that went. This guy's went 60. I got up to 40. I'm like, okay, this is just too terrifying. You're standing up Jesus Christ. And the guy wheelies it. It's insane.
Really?
Yeah, wheelies like one of those old, I guess a reference for the viewers, those push scooters that all the kids have. It's like an L shaped. It's like that, but they go 60, and it's kind of terrifying.
Right.
I don't know how that guy does it, but
right.
But the small electric vehicles like that, those are great. I really like those, actually. I think they're a very good use of our batteries and power, 100%.
Yeah, we got e-bikes, just bicycles that were electric. And I've used that so much. I'm a perfect little 15-minute city girl now, because in the summer, I jump on that bike to do the groceries and to do every little errand. I barely end up using my vehicle except when I need it. And then I'm glad I can leave. But
no, for sure. I mean, what can you do? But also transportation like that is just cheaper, right? You're paying... Right. You probably wouldn't even notice a difference in your electric bill if you switched from a car to an electric scooter or electric bicycle, right?
Yeah.
You probably wouldn't even see an up in your power.
Yeah.
That's just how little they draw. And they're getting better. They're getting way better. I got into the scene of PEVs when they were just starting. and they've come a long way. They've got a lot cheaper, which is the best thing. But
Yeah, yeah. It was good. We used to have fun making fun of the Tesla trucks that look like dumpsters.
Yeah. They do look like dumpsters. I never
Yeah.
thought of that. The slanted back. Yeah.
Yeah. It's like driving dumpster kind of thing. And so I want to get into another subject or two, and we'll just check out.
Can I
the
also
chat.
just say that
Please.
hybrid EVs are good. Those are cool. That's actually a good idea. If you want everybody to have electric in their car, if they actually want it to be, eco-friendly, even though the batteries are coming from when they're farming all that lithium, that's just as bad. I don't know if you've seen the statistics. You can run like a V8 for its entire lifetime, and it's still less pollution in the environment than it is to produce a battery for a Tesla.
Wow, there you go. Yeah,
so you're not saving much there.
Yeah, so it's not really about the environment. What do you think it's really about?
Control.
Like you said, control.
There's no other reason for it. There's no other reason, at least that seems reasonable, if that makes sense.
Yeah.
A reasonable reason.
There you go. Yeah, good to know. And he says, "Mom, sure." Nice. That's good. Can you see our, we look the same?
We have the same colored hair. Just
yeah. Well, maybe you'll see your hair another time if it ever works out. And it's more than thinking. It's his inner sight. He has eyes to see and ears to hear. That's the gift and should be welcomed and honored. Nice. I really do. Yeah. Brain damage is, that is unfortunate. And I'm actually deep diving right now on the brain in with respect to creativity, because I'm running that creator code course, and I'm flying the plane and building at the same time. I think everybody knows that, or you do now anyway. And so I just wrote an article about brain food and things like MSG. Did you ever think you're going to eat MSG, by the way? Were you indoctrinated that it was bad and wrong?
Yeah, but I never noticed the side effects of it that people always said you'd get like a headache and stuff from it, but it never really affected me. Really, I don't know. I didn't eat Chinese food or Asian food a lot, to be honest. So it was never something that I really thought about nor cared about.
Right.
But,
Yeah. Anyway,
it tastes good.
It tastes good. Yeah. Yeah. Have you noticed any effects from using? I guess you're not super regular. It's only when I give it to you, probably, eh?
Pretty much.
Yeah. Yeah.
I mean, it's good.
Right. Right. Yeah. Yeah. It's a neurotransmitter, and it's how your body communicates everything to your brain.
I see.
So yeah, it is a major part of your brain. Yeah.
Well, no wonder a lot of Asian people are quite smart.
They can be a lot smarter. I know.
I realize. Wow, that kind of is a very stereotypical thing to say about Asian people, but I mean, they are smarter.
And stereotypes have a basis. They're a stereotype for a reason.
Yeah, for the most part.
Yeah. And people are destroying themselves by placing idols before their being, and that's
a big one, actually.
Okay.
Stop like giving a fuck about celebrities. Why would you care? I mean, it's okay to like somebody's music, but it's like, those, like, you call them how do they call, what is they call them Swifties, like Taylor Swift's fans.
Okay.
When somebody's so fucking dedicated to an artist or a person, you need some help. Stop devoting all your energy and like save your dopamine for something else.
And what do you think is happening for them? It's a dopamine thing, is what you're saying.
I don't know. I mean, it could also just be something it's pointless in my mind, but I understand some people do it just. It's weird to say this. Some people will do it just to have a purpose. But also, as well, you have to keep this in mind as well, that it's like also a community. So it's, again, something people will socialize over.
Right.
But I don't think, no celebrity is good. None of them are good people, in my opinion, at least. Not very, very, very few, at least.
Mm-hmm.
Sorry.
I was going to ask, do you think that's changed at all? That, like, I grew up in full on celebrity culture and you never questioned them. You did think they were like God. I had pictured this big of Olivia Newton-John on my wall when I was a kid. And
Yeah,
I
yeah.
had a psychic spiritual relationship with her because her eyes looked at me no matter where I stood in the room. It was one of those photographs. Uh, but we just didn't question it. It was just part of our culture. Whereas by the time it gets to you, there's been a shift where this might even be a little bit before your time, but there was Paris Hilton who became famous because what was it? She had sex on the internet or something like that. Like that was her foray into fame. Whereas in my days, that would have been completely unacceptable and unheard of. But now, it devolved, a culture literally devolved
Mm-hmm.
to that. What was that like for you to witness?
Mm.
Like when people get on TikTok and they show you their everything and
Yeah, it's really disgusting. It's really, really, really disgusting. It's unfortunately like there's nothing that can really be done. It's like people are kind of putting themselves out there. It's really easy to do porn now. I could do it, right? I'm not going to, but it's I don't know. It's really easy to do that. It's really easy to gain fame like that, and not even just fame. It's like a lot of these. We'll call them OnlyFans models. That's all I'll say. They're famous because they're a porn star, not because they're, I don't know, a musician or anything. I don't know, but just to me, who would want to be famous for that? Why would you want to have like millions of followers and then they just seen your everything? It's like kind of fucking weird.
Yeah, that is weird.
It's a big self-respect thing, in my opinion. If like people who do porn and stuff like that, absolutely zero self-respect. Money takes over. And don't get me wrong, making money like a porn star would be great. But I don't want to do porn to get that type of money, right?
Right.
So
yeah.
I'd rather sell Coke, to be honest.
Okay, we should keep those words down a little bit now.
Coca-Cola. What do you think I'm talking about?
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. Yeah, we could go into that subject. I don't know how censorable it is. We could probably do it. But you know what? I want to go back to one thing that you said. And it was about that when they become a Swifter, it gives them a purpose. And so how do you see the evolution of purpose having taken place?
Like in general?
Yeah. Like, do you feel like, for example, that your work gives you a purpose?
Oh, for sure. 100%.
And why do you need purpose?
I mean, you don't, but you should want a purpose. I feel like it's just, for me, it's honestly about not, you look at people that are just doing shittier than you in life. And it's not to like shame people who are doing worse in life than you, but it's also just like a wake up. That's like, stop taking the wrong path.
Right. Like I would say you need a purpose.
100%. I feel like, at least for guys, maybe, women, I feel like maybe not as much, I know some women that would love to just lounge around all day and never do a single thing. But, and that sounds pretty nice until you do it for about 5 minutes and then you're sick of it. But,
yeah,
I don't know. I feel like, with guys, we want to, our brains are always trying to just fix shit like that. Right.
Mm-hmm.
So it's kind of a way of just, doing what we think is right.
Yeah. Being a guy, being who you are.
And it's not to say that women don't have purposes. They obviously do, big time.
Yeah, we were talking a little bit about, traditional or maybe primitive cultures before you came. And there's like in a traditional culture, I wouldn't be here on the live stream. It would be you, or it would be,
Yep.
and still it is quite a masculine kind of environment regardless. But yeah, that's always my idea, that if more people got a purpose rather than deferring and just watching somebody else have a purpose, which is not really a purpose, just like you say, it's just a sort of dopamine manufacturing machine.
Yep.
Then they live vicariously through other people's purpose, and then you're left with nothing.
Yeah, that's kind of like the biggest thing is I guess also people will like fangirl. I'll use the term. It's quite widely used. It's just fangirling. You can be a dude and fangirl too. But I guess if you all don't know that term, fangirling just means you're obsessing over something. Doesn't have to be a woman, but generally the women are the ones that are the fangirls, right? So that's why that term is like that.
Right.
It's also can be a part of, because I notice like when you look on like Instagram and TikTok and whatnot, and you see all like I'll use Taylor Swift fans. They're always like, I don't mean to like discriminate, but they're always not as, they're people that haven't really upgraded their life. They haven't really gotten out there. They haven't really tried to better themselves. And so like, they don't got shit going on in their lives. So they find the next best thing, and they, like there's videos of people going, oh, Justin Bieber just unfollowed this person and followed this person and and like licked their finger and stuck it in someone's butt, something crazy like that. I don't know. But and it could also just be a sense of, or a want of like association and I guess you could, in short, you could say it's something to do, but they're really looking for involvement. That's the word I was looking for.
Involvement, and a big part of purpose is engagement, because you engage people through your own purpose, and that becomes, something that is very organic and it grows all by itself. Sure. Yeah, really good point, Liam. That's awesome. I know we're way behind on the comments, and starting to come up on the 2-hour mark. Wow, it's been a while. And so Being in Truth also said, you carry a gift rooted in Christ consciousness, the ability to truly see. That gift will continue to develop in its own time.
For sure.
Yeah.
I do feel gifted to, not be a retard.
Yeah.
I mean, okay,
it's
actually,
a gift.
I'm gonna say this also. Mm-hmm. Don't be so much of a retard where you're just being retarded. You gotta have that healthy balance, but you need some some stupidity in you to have fun in life.
Right.
You need that stupid, like there's like, you got your sections of the brain, you got the whatever the fuck it's called. Somewhere in here is a retard module or whatever you want to call it. and mine happens to be smaller, but
it's still important.
Because this, in my opinion, the smarter you are about everything in the world, the more you're gonna like worry. The more you're literally going to scare yourself with thoughts that your brain came up with that aren't even true.
There you go.
It's like what biggest waste of time, biggest waste of energy, biggest waste of everything.
Right. Right.
Yeah,
the intellect is an important tool, but how do we use it? If you're using it to scare yourself and to make yourself miserable, it's not working for you.
No, for sure.
Yeah,
exactly.
Still very important. That's not to be discounted by any means, which I know you're not doing.
But keep that stupidity.
Keep it
a little bit.
Okay.
Just a tiny bit.
Yeah. That just sounds like fun. The ability to play and
exactly.
Produce nothing and just goof around.
Exactly. The little section in your brain that you just turn off, or that it's like a button or something that just shuts your shit off.
Right. Right. Exactly. I do a lot of that.
Me too.
Yeah. And Sharon, welcome to the stream, said, thank you both. You're very welcome. Your youngest son is 20. Nice. It brings you great relief and optimism that he's making very moral and sound choices. He will not spend time and attend on young ladies who lie or mutilate themselves for beauty. And he treats others with respect and wisdom and tells many of his contemporaries on social media are aware of the agenda and would not go to war for the elites. Our young ones are growing up beyond us and are aware. And so amazing, Sharon. So that's actually really good to hear that there's more like you out there. Not trying to blow smoke up your butt or anything like that, or pretend everything is so always perfect. It's not the case. The Emperor's New Clothes is classic. No clothes, new clothes. Did he get some new clothes? Hello, Michelle. Nice to see you. You're a beautiful soul too. Jackie K said they're working on the 3-year-olds who don't know any better. I know. They're just such fodder. Yeah, really sad. Quietly, Content Bear said, I totally concur with the dirt bike sentiment. Yeah, so good. It was really rock. It was kind of outrageous to get you that, but I just somehow knew it was going to be really good, and it really changed your life. You just got out there. All of a sudden, the world became something that you could explore and see.
Exactly. Yeah, that's the way I learned our city, is by being on a small, quiet little bike.
Yeah. And having your own experiences and your own interactions and finding the shock of the homeless camps. And
yeah, a lot of parents are really, really terrified about like letting. I'll just use like e-motos, electric dirt bikes, right? They're popular in the city. A lot of parents are really scared to let their kids out, and they can do a lot of stupid shit, like get in a lot of trouble if they're dumb. But it's also like a lot of parents are scared that they're going to see the real world. But you also have to realize that that's going to happen, whether you like it or not,
And you always say the more that a parent tries to keep you away from something, the more
you want
it.
And it's not because it's not because the kid is trying to. I mean, there are some cases. I mean, a lot of kids will just go against their parents just because they can. They think they're the worst person ever. But it's mostly because we're curious. If you're gonna hide something, say if you like, I don't have a good example of this, but anytime you didn't want me to have something, or didn't let me do something for say, you whenever an adult does that, you always make a spark in a kid's mind, and you're like, well, now that kid wants to know exactly what the hell you're doing because you didn't let him do it, right?
Yeah.
You know what? Your kid wants to know what wine tastes like. Give them a micro sip and see that, and teach them they don't like it.
Yeah.
Stuff like that.
Rather than oh no, not allowed.
Exactly, because you bring that away. Heck, all alcohol looks like a fun drink. It tastes like shit, but some of them are tolerable. But again, if I was a little kid and you had a glass of wine and I didn't know what that was, I would have wanted to try it. It looks kind of fun. Doesn't taste fun. It is, yeah, it's fun color. Yeah. Some of it's carbonated, right? There's the champagnes and whatnot.
Yeah.
Those I know damn well. If I was I remember there were times at our family Christmas parties that I would there's a cup here of ginger ale. It's champagne, but it's I don't know.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I was hip to the fact that if I tried to restrict you from things, that you would want them. Because I know
that's how
that
every
about
kid.
me.
That's how every single kid feels.
Yeah,
every single kid. It doesn't. I mean, up to a certain age, I feel like once you start getting more mature, you realize, hey, if I don't get to try this, but also it's just a lot more now. I know a lot more.
Yeah, exactly. I imagine we could go really deep into the whole, like drugs and stuff like that. You have educated yourself,
yeah,
and it's been around you, but you haven't been interested at all.
Not really, no.
What do you think has helped you make that good a choice?
Well, honestly, a big part of it. This is one thing that our government used to really advocate against drugs. Really, a lot used to advocate against drugs, and that was the biggest part. I'm going to be honest. But the one thing that scared me a lot from drugs, I'm not scared of them now. Mm-hmm. You could say I'll never touch them, but I mean, it is what it is, right? But honestly, seeing as a younger person, and seeing maybe 11, 12 years old, and then seeing drug documentaries from Vice and BuzzFeed and all these things. And it's like they portray it really bad there. And that's in my opinion, that's really what steered me away is just saying not to try them, you know. And now that I see you look at people on the street, right? Maybe that's not all from all the substances, but definitely particular ones, right?
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Yeah, I learned the term fentfold from you.
Yep, fentfold. Yeah.
So I always admire that. That's there's a friend of ours who runs or helps to run the Soulshine Festival, and they were considering to make that like a zero drugs and alcohol zone, and that everybody would come and know that they're going to just be clean for the weekend.
Where?
Soulshine, where we went in Ontario.
Right.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah.
And I ran that by Liam because the rebel in me says, oh, let people make their own choices. Don't regulate them, all of this kind of stuff. But when I told it to you and your friend Caden, you both said like, oh, that sounds amazing that there would be zero drugs and alcohol.
Yeah. From a kid's standpoint, no kid really likes drunk people.
Right.
That's the thing. Like, if there's going to be kids involved, like, here's how I'll say it. It's kind of funny, but like, if you want to bring your kid to somewhere where everybody's drinking and they don't like it, just let them drink. Just let them drink, honestly, at that point. They'll feel more fit in.
Yeah. It's part of, like, as it really does, as
big time. As
people get more and more inebriated, they can't relate to you. You can't relate to them. There's just this like disconnect going on. I know, because I haven't drank for a long time. Like I'm not interested. I'm not against it. I'm just not interested.
For sure. And that's the best.
Yeah. Now I see a lot of damage. And why?
That's also another thing is I've noticed we have had lots of things happen in our family that were very, very closely related with alcohol.
Yeah.
And, I was too young to really perceive what happened. Right. But even, I almost feel bad actually, because there's a lot of people that I don't necessarily miss, but I see how alcohol affected their life and what happened wrong to them. And that was just a big thing. Like, even though they didn't necessarily mean a whole crap ton to me, it was like, you know what? I look at these people, I see how that ruined it, and I don't want anything to do with it. I don't want to come close to it.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
So
yeah, good for you. That's amazing.
It's also fucking expensive. Drugs are expensive. Like,
alcohol's like crazy.
Alcohol's expensive. You want to drink. If any y'all in the chat, 11 of you, I see. If you guys go out and regularly drink at bars, how do you afford that? Which drug are you dealing to afford that?
Yeah, probably not that relevant here.
Probably not. I would imagine not so.
Mm-hmm.
I hope not. But I don't understand how anybody can afford to go to the bar every day.
Yeah. Fair enough.
Like, this is going to be a really weird thing to say in front of my mom, but if I wanted to get drunk, it's like 8 drinks. You know how much 8 drinks cost at the bar?
$100.
It's like $150.
Yeah.
You want a shot of, you know what Hennessy is?
Cognac.
It's like,
okay.
It's like super expensive French whiskey or whatever the fuck it's called. It's like $40 for a Mickey. Right? Okay. A Mickey of Crown Royal is like $12. But
right.
And people just drink that stuff like it's water. That's mind-boggling.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Yeah, craziness.
It's just super expensive liquor, but yeah.
Madness.
Yeah, it was like 4. And actually, this is where I'm coming back to it. I was at a bar here for my friend's 18th birthday. Do you remember whose? I'm not going to say their name.
Yes, I do.
Yeah, each shot of Hennessy was 14 Canadian dollars each.
That's just stupid.
Yeah,
that's
$14. You can literally go to the LC and spend $14 on a Mickey and then get blackout drunk for less.
Right.
So it's
yeah, madness. So there was one last topic. I bet there's more, but there was one last topic I was going to ask you about technology,
Sure.
because I didn't grow up in the techno era. When I was
Mhm.
born, I believe it was still black and white on that stupid TV. And the fake moon landing was happening, and everybody's looking
Mhm.
at it and ooh ah like this. And by the time you came along, you actually had a cell phone earlier, because I wanted to be in contact with you
For
when
sure.
you weren't here. So what's that been like to grow up with the technology?
Growing up with technology is it's like if I had to say, would I rather have all of this fun tech, right? Phones and all this stuff. I love it. Don't get me wrong. It
Yeah.
has its purpose and
Yeah.
it has its entertainment.
Yeah.
But if I was given the option to go back to 2005 or advance 5 years, say,
Mhm.
I'm going back because
To not having the technology. Okay, I see.
or having technology, a very simple technology,
Okay.
because these things have single-handedly ruined everything.
Okay. Well,
In my
why
opinion,
why?
social media is the biggest thing. It's ruined people's social lives. It's a big reason why people don't talk to people anymore, is because they just sit on a screen all day and they think, oh, these are my friends. No, they're not your friends. They don't actually give a shit about you, right? Just some random person off the internet. It's just caused a lot of shit. Like, it's crazy to say the internet was invented for pornography.
Yeah. Yeah. Exactly.
Like, yeah, I don't know.
Yeah.
I growing up with tech it's been a treat 100%. A lot of older people will say we're very privileged, and in a way I think we are 100%, but also there has its downsides. But it's also made me realize how technology, there's no advancements, at least for what they want to show us, that we have. Like, there's been no advancements in technology at all, like in the last little bit. And even, matter of fact, I would say it's gone backwards.
Mm.
But it's probably because they just don't want to like give us new technology, you could say.
Exactly.
Like,
Yeah,
AI is getting stupid. ChatGPT is getting stupid, really stupid.
Is it getting more stupid?
It is getting retarded.
Yeah?
Like,
Why?
I don't know. I try to ask it a question and it's like, this is the diameter of the sun. I'm like, oh great, thank you for telling me that. It's not what I asked. It's like, I don't know. I think they gave it a stupid pill. They gave it a retard pill.
Right. Well, it's only as good as the data that goes into it, right? It's not really thinking. It's just.
That's very true.
Yeah.
I was trying to figure out how long to air fry something for.
Yeah.
And he was giving me absolutely bogus, like burn your house down instructions.
Yeah. Well.
So
yeah, like the GPS when you put it in. And I remember I went to pick you up at an event out at Fort, not Fort White, but the geese. The geese, what the heck is that? Anyway, so I relied on the GPS to get there. It drove me into the middle of a field. Well, I let it drive me into the middle of a field. And I'm like, this doesn't look right to me at all. And I shouldn't keep going.
Yeah, the GPSs definitely aren't perfect. There's this one property, 100 Yale, that I do. And we have like an app for my job. It's the way we like see where we're going, see our jobs and whatnot.
Mm-hmm.
But for some reason, it likes to choose the 100 Yale that's like in Ontario.
Yeah. Well, we've made that mistake one time, when we were in the US, and next thing you know, we're heading for Milwaukee or something like that.
Yeah. That's where you get shot. But yeah, I don't know. The GPSs are goofy. It's I don't know. Technology isn't perfect, and it's honestly not very good. Like, it's really cool to be able to like open up your phone and blah blah blah. But people say like, oh, Apple's reliable. I've had this thing shit on me so many times.
Mm-hmm.
Maybe I'm just like a dickhead when it comes to using computers and phones. But I mean, I could like brick any computer in 10 seconds.
Right.
Yeah. I can outsmart them.
Right.
They're not very smart.
Right.
Computers are quite dumb.
Right. Yeah, again, they're only as smart as what's input to them.
For sure. But it almost seems like they're dumbing shit down and they're making shit not work on purpose.
Right.
Like, there's so many. I don't think I could ever go out and buy a single piece of tech that just works. There's always some fiddling with it. There's always some fucking with it. It never just works.
Yeah, that's true. That's true. And then Mac has like the archetype of a child, and it's the magic child. And they don't mind bringing something out and making it appear that it's going to work. Why? Because it's got a button that says it's going to do that. But then you click the button, it's like, oh, you want to click and have some function? We're not there yet.
No, exactly.
Yeah. There was always the metaphor of, could they sell you a stove where one element worked and another one was going to work on the next update, and they were still in development about the other two? Like you wouldn't buy it, right?
No, exactly. It's funny because there are products that come out that are like that.
Yep.
Very unfinished products.
Right, exactly. Yeah, and they've conditioned and cultured us to be
100%, big time. Shit's getting so cheap. Like, not price-wise, it's getting expensive, but actual
garbage,
actual stuff. Like, yeah, exactly. It's like 90% of the items that people buy and or even that's made is just landfill. It's just like, it's just so much stuff that just doesn't get used.
Exactly. So last question for today.
Sure.
What about the way AI is taking over jobs right now?
It's taking some jobs. What were you going to say?
The statistics are very, very grim, unfortunately. Like the actual numbers. I'm going to be doing my stream on Tuesday with Brandon Sterling on partly about that. And you've had a few reportings around your friends being unable to find jobs. Like they apply for 160 jobs and they can't get one.
Yep.
It's hard to be a white guy, especially a young white man getting a job these days. And then we have AI coming along, and corporations are basically chomping at the bit to be able to eliminate as many employees as they can. Why? Because that's one of their all-time biggest expenses.
Oh, I mean, I don't blame them. If I owned, say, a writing firm, or I was a writer or something like that, or whatever, for a job that's just like that, where AI can just do it, I mean, as fucked up as it is, it's...
You don't think there's any moral problem with that?
I do definitely think that it's unfair to be like taking people's jobs, but also it's, again, I don't like that idea, but again, we do live in a free country and people can kind of do what they want. That's how I look at it.
Right.
Not necessarily that I like it, but again, free country, you do what you want.
Yeah. I feel sad that people are losing their jobs, and I know that's going to affect everybody, including us.
Oh, for sure.
And
it has its pros and cons, which is weird. Like, a lot of things are going to get a lot cheaper because they're just able to produce them without having to pay a person.
Right.
But also things are going to get a lot shittier, in my opinion. Things are going to get a lot more, there's going to be more patterns with things, I think, in my opinion. You're going to see a lot more like consistency and overall everything, I think. But not necessarily good consistency, just consistency.
Okay. Right. Interesting. So you can see we don't agree on everything, and neither do we need to. It's always
agree to disagree. That's the biggest thing. If you don't know how to agree to disagree. What
are you doing?
What the fuck are you doing? You're never gonna get in life. You're like, you're never gonna. Yeah. It's the biggest thing is agree to disagree.
Yeah. And I like being able to expand my mind enough to see how you're seeing, or see how another guest is seeing, or see through the eyes of people, because I only have this view.
No, for sure. It's really interesting to see what other people think. 100%.
Yeah. And it becomes less about needing to all have the same perspective as just seeing and perceiving and helping me discriminate for myself. Right?
For sure.
Or discern. Yeah, which is kind of the same. Yeah.
No, 100%.
There you go. I just slipped a little lesson in there.
A little lesson, yeah. There's your schooling for the day.
Yeah. So, well, this has been a lot of fun. Thank you guys for hanging around and being part of this. Your grandson Chris keeps you in the whimsical. Yeah, what a gift when you've got young people in your life. I had nieces and nephews. They're kind of grown, and we got estranged from the pandemic. And Michelle said, I agree, Liam, we all need to have some play. And your son didn't get his license till he's 21, just wasn't interested. Yeah, I was the one that pressed it. I'm like, I think you should have your license by now. And
get your license as soon as you freaking can. The second you turn, you're old enough, do it.
Yeah.
The second you turn, like here at 16 and a half, the second, that's when you should be going get that.
And I would say so that you can become a good driver sooner.
That's a big one too, is I know people that are still like scared to drive.
Right.
And it's just like, it's never going to work out like that.
Yeah, that's no way to live.
And not being a scared driver is a lot more fun.
And you're a safer driver when you're not scared, not overconfident, right?
For sure. No, it's a fine line. It's a very, very fine line before, overconfident and whatnot. Because, you got to realize like being overconfident will just absolutely hit you like a bowling ball the second something fucks up, right? You feel like you're on top of the world. And then that one thing happens and you're like, oh,
kaboom.
I'm not on top of the world.
Yeah.
But it's really, it's okay to feel like that, but it's important to know that you're not.
Yeah. The metaphor also of board in the face comes to mind. You know how when someone steps on the end of a board and it goes this? Yeah. It can be like that when you're overconfident. So it's really good to know.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly. It's almost like that. I don't know why it makes you feel like that, or like a dopamine hit or whatever, probably, or something like that. But
pride cometh before the fall.
Yes, exactly. I almost want to say like, it's like you're too, when you're overconfident, you're too happy, if that makes sense. You're too happy about the wrong things, and you're not watching out for others.
Nice. That's beautiful, because the main function of pride is to separate you from others. So yeah, that's very astute what you just said. Very good. Yeah, all that stuff was behind closed doors, and now it's more in our face. Although we changed governments, and it's less cool to. You're trying to read the comments, Sarah. Here.
Somebody's laying on their horn.
Yeah, you always hear the horns and the sirens around here. You think EVs apply to the Silly Green Brigade show-offs?
What's
Could
that?
be. Silly Green Brigade, sorry. The Green Brigade, they're like telling us to save the climate and save the environment.
What saving is there to do? Have you guys seen India before? Have you guys seen like Pakistan?
Yeah, 8 times. Not Pakistan, but India.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
But like, have y'all just seen a picture of that place? There's no saving that.
Yeah.
What's done is done.
Yeah.
We can try to preserve our country, but it's stupid that we're being taxed on our pollution when we're like 2% of the world's pollution.
Right.
Why aren't we like taxing China or something?
Right.
Not that I have anything against China. I love Chinese people, but
they should be paying us.
Yeah, exactly. They should be paying us right out of pocket, right into our bank accounts.
Yeah, exactly. Oh, that's nice of you to say, Jackie K. He is mature. He did it himself.
I tried to be.
And Michelle said it blows her mind. So many people can't afford to eat, yet have no problem finding ways to stay doped up. Exactly, right? There's priorities.
Exactly.
Yeah.
To a meth head, a drug addict, food isn't a worry.
Yeah.
They'll take it.
Yeah.
But just like whenever a homeless person's on the side of the road, doesn't matter how clean they look. It better not to assume, but like that $2 you give them, it's going to meth, right?
Yeah.
Or yeah.
That's why if I give food.
That is the best way. If you're going to give to homeless people, you give them items, and food is a good one because it doesn't last.
Yeah.
So it's either they're going to eat it or they're going to give it to somebody else that will actually benefit from it, that actually needs it.
Yeah, exactly. And a glass of wine costs the same as a vintage bottle. It is surreal. Back in your days, that 25-cent beer night. Yeah, 25. I know. Oh, exactly. We used to have that.
No,
they were draft. I think it was draft night.
Yeah,
You
holy, yeah. You get a
yeah.
huge glass of
Yeah,
it. Yeah.
yeah,
Yeah,
yeah.
now a beer's like $14 or something at the bar.
Okay,
I don't.
wow.
I think at like beer stores they're like $4 or $3 or $4 each. Actually,
Okay.
not inherently like crazy for alcoholic beverage in my opinion, but
Right.
obviously that's way more
Similar
expensive to 25 cents, right?
right, similar to an iced tea or something
Yeah.
like that,
Oh.
eh?
Oh. 100%.
Yeah.
Alcohol. It's in those like single drinks. I mean, they're not much more expensive
Mhm.
than regular soda.
Mhm. Mhm.
Like you want to buy
Exactly.
like a twisted tea or like a Mike's Hard Ice. Those are two like alcoholic beverages. You could say they're like pre-mixed drinks on a can. They taste like soda. I'm not
Yeah.
even lying, but yeah.
Yes, sometimes it's more expensive to buy the water, especially at an airport. Stupid.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah. And nice to have you here, Artist Seer. It's lovely. Genevieve, you said you can't use GPS. It leads you wrong every time. I have to actually think and run the GPS, not just run the
It
GPS.
says and the wrong way up a highway ramp. That's insane.
Oh,
How did
darn
you?
it.
I'm just. I don't know if this person's still in the stream, but how did you get there? How did you get to the wrong way? Did you like U-turn?
Well, there's ramps. Remember, from Wilkes to the perimeter, there's two exits. One would take you the wrong way. It does say wrong way.
That's true.
Yeah,
No, no. You know what? That makes sense.
yeah,
That makes sense.
yeah, yeah. It happens. I'm sorry. Yeah, yeah. Do you remember that time we were with Grayson in the Minneapolis area and we had no
Nope.
GPS?
Yeah. So we were just like reading off the instructions and trying to figure out where we were going, and it was just.
Yeah, yeah. I was joking that I would have killed myself, but I had two 10-year-olds in the backyard the back seat, so I couldn't do it. It was amazing. We ever got out of that. Planned obsolescence, yep. Breads and circuses, yep. Taking our jobs, yep. But
It'll
it's
never come after our purpose
bingo.
because AI can't replace us.
Bingo. See, this is my whole soapbox. This is why I chirp on purpose and vision and creating and doing something original that comes from you, could only come from you.
Mhm.
That's the part that could never AI.
For sure.
Right?
I think if your job can be replaced by AI, I think at least for me, if I was in this position, if I knew I was going to be taken by AI, I would switch up my career. I would do something different. I would do
Mhm.
something that can't be taken by AI. And unfortunately, a lot of people are going to have to do that.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah. Exactly. Exactly. And you are very welcome. I'm glad you enjoyed. And you postponed allowing one of your children to get their driver's license because they had an issue with impulse control. Well, see, that's a smart mama. You need that stuff, right? And that was, you demonstrated that you did. Liam was a rare child that you did have impulse control. Even if you had this much cake in front of you, you would only eat as much as you needed and wanted, or need is a different word, but you just eat some.
Yeah.
And you would stop yourself. I didn't have to take it away or control it or hide it, although I think maybe I did some of that, hiding this and that you always found anyway.
There were times, but I mean,
Mhm. Yeah, but never to an extreme, right? Like it just,
no.
yeah, I let you regulate yourself and you did, but not every child might be capable because of the road rage potential and the danger to everyone. And Chris said, I think what scared my son was his dad's patriot myth, right to travel rants. Right. Yeah, so that'll scare you into being independent and getting your license. And Maya said, great talking, Liam. Come back again. Would you like
Yeah,
to?
for sure. For sure.
Okay,
I would
fantastic.
love
I
to.
was thrilled when you accepted my invitation, and I wouldn't have been upset if you hadn't. I just put it out there. I'm a kind of wouldn't it be nice if person, and so yeah, it's been really amazing to have you here,
Yeah, for sure.
to say the least. Genevieve said, I was lucky no one was coming and I U-turned. It was busy. It was a busy highway. I had no clue it was leading you the wrong way. Oh boy.
That sounds like a kerfuffle.
Yeah, it would be.
Well, I'm sorry that happened. That sounds terrifying, honestly.
Yeah, exactly. And God bless you, Jackie, for reminding people. Again, the shadow banning is off the charts. I can't even figure out why I'm considered dangerous. This is stupid, right? Like, come on, you guys. It's whatever. But I'll just keep going. I don't care.
She makes $1 million per like. So like it up. No, I'm joking. I'm joking.
Yeah, but that would be nice
It'd be
for a
great
like.
for like $1 million. For
There you
like,
go.
yeah.
Yeah. And I've never made money on likes. I actually work for a living. I know it's sort of like not the most popular thing to do. I provide value. I do stuff for people, and I help them,
For sure.
and they can change their lives and stuff
sure.
like that. So yeah, I've
Yeah,
never.
talk to this person if you want to like change your life.
Thank you, Liam. Appreciate that.
No worries. I take it as she's pretty great at it too. So, you know,
I love it, and I've done it for long enough that I got good at it.
that's
Yeah.
good.
Yeah. It's so fun. It's so incredibly fun, and not that I don't care how much work it is. It's a lot of work. It's a lot of intense
for sure.
work.
And I see that you work your fucking ass off.
I really do. And it's with purpose, right?
Because and it's not even like your job is like I work at like a just a pointless store, pointless business,
like retail selling
leg
warmers or something.
Selling like stupid shit. Like, in my opinion, if you're going to open a business, and you want to sell like a product or something, don't just like sell like little. I mean, you want to sell your little, crafts and whatnot. That's all. That's fine. You do you, but don't try to pursue that because it never works.
It doesn't.
It never works.
I know. Yeah.
As fun as it is to seem to, I want to open like a pottery business, and that's something that you can do on the side 100%, but don't expect it to just take off. Because especially now with like things the way they are, man, people aren't going to small businesses. And as bad as it is to say, I don't. Because I don't want to pay $24 for like a bottle of water. I would love to only shop at like, our smaller grocery stores here, not the chains, but
that makes me hungry.
Yeah. But like, who the fuck wants to go and spend like just absurd amounts of money on products that you can get anywhere else that are half the price,
Yeah, you have to take care of yourself. It's just one of those things. And for me, it's like, if you don't have what I need, then I'm not going to shop with you. And so it's kind of a sad thing.
Big time, yeah.
Yep. All right. Well, this has been fantastic. Thanks again, Michelle. Michelle says,
I'm glad to hear that. That's good.
She's one of my special students.
That's good. Hello, special student. Hope all is well.
Very good. All right. Well, this is the first. This is the first in the series of Evolve. I don't exactly know next week. I'm hoping for Matt Ehret, who's going to come on and talk about geopolitical, cultural evolution and society evolution.
I'm not sure what that is, but it sounds, those are big words, so it sounds important.
Yeah, it's how the power structures have evolved and how thinking has evolved and influence. If I'm saying it correctly, actually, how it's the philosophy of the day has influenced the way that society moved and changed, and powers that came into be and everything like that. Yeah. Lots of really good history. I should turn you on to Matthew Ehret. Did I call him the right name? I think so. Yeah. And then Tuesday, join us on the King Heroes Journey podcast.
Make sure on Tuesday.
Tuesday.
Bookmark it, calendar it.
Yep, 4:00, 20 minutes ago, same time.
4:00
in Central Time.
Yep, 4:00 Central Time. Put it in your calendars. Let all your family know. Make sure you're writing it down. Taking the day off for that.
Exactly. And Brandon's going to be talking about the economy. It's always interesting to me because it's, first of all, it's not filtered through all the truth or, garbage. Sorry, the made up stuff, and it should be this, or it's really secretly that. It's like, no, let's look at what it is. And he's excellent at reading markets, and he's excellent to some degree at forecasting. So he is going to take a chance at showing us what is likely to come. He's not a crystal ball guy. He gave me some bad advice on silver, but it's okay. It's all right. I take responsibility for my own choices there, but and very good. I'm glad you found it heartwarming. It's been that way for me as well. I always had the feeling to bring Liam into my work in some way or another. You have done, you've done a few videos for me, and you did
For
my.
sure.
You played on the intros for my King Heroes Journey podcast.
I did, yes.
And so, maybe if there's another time, we could get you to play a little bit. Do you feel like it?
Right now?
Yeah.
Not
so
necessarily.
much. Okay. Yeah, and I didn't warn you at all. Yeah.
But yeah, I would definitely have to think about what I would play. But yeah,
Another time.
for sure.
Yeah.
And also on YouTube, it's a little stingy. I don't know how much they care about copyright, but
oh, you can play anything. Yeah, it's more playing something recorded that it'll recognize.
Okay.
Although it's letting me get away with my own music, I haven't got any warnings at all. So.
They usually won't give you crap unless you're monetizing it. Like I used to upload a lot of like YouTube videos, video game stuff. That's what I'll say. But I would always use songs that would be copyrighted. But if you're not making money on the video, they just like let you know that like, hey, we're going to run ads on this video, and you're just not going to make the money from it because you're using somebody else's material, obviously.
Right. Exactly. You just don't have the rights to that. Yeah. That makes sense.
And that's how it should be.
Right.
It really is. So.
Right. Yeah, I learned a lot from about technology from you, so thank you for that.
No worries.
Yeah, and life, and people, and even dating. It helped me see that what I was too retarded to know when I was growing up.
I mean, you weren't retarded. It's just nobody knew better,
And it was cultural indoctrination. They wanted us to not know better.
Mm-hmm.
It was propagandized to not know better.
For sure.
And I fell for it, and it's just so.
Everybody did.
Yep, you got it.
Yep.
So thank you, Liam.
No
That's
worries.
been amazing.
Good
Totally
talking,
appreciate.
Of course, of course.
Love you so much.
I love you too.
Yep, appreciate you.
I appreciate
Proud
you
of you.
Well. Thank you. I'm proud of you as well.
Thank you.
No worries.
Thank you.
No worries.
That's so nice. Aw, Mike says Liam is a good dude and going good places. I would say so as well. Too. Exactly. Yep. And he's not a bandit, just so you know. There's there you go. Fun. All right. Well, we're going to play you out with one of my songs. And thanks so much, everybody, for being here. Lots of love. And I hope you have a beautiful rest of your day.
Oh, my true guide, Lord and supporter of all, forever free from identity. Be well, I'm dwelling in you. Be well, I am dwelling in you. Purusha